What if your life isn't being shaped only by what you see, but by forces you can't? What if unseen ancestors are watching, silent spirits are waiting, and every decision you make is being noticed by something beyond this world? Chinese folk religion doesn't just explain life, it reveals a hidden reality most people never even question. What is Chinese folk religion? Chinese folk religion is not a single, unified system like Christianity or Islam. It does not follow one book, one prophet, or one structured authority. Instead, it is something far more complex and far more human. It is a living, breathing collection of beliefs, traditions, and practices that have evolved over thousands of years across China and Chinese communities around the world. At its core, Chinese folk religion blends elements from Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism, yet it is not limited to any of them. It exists in everyday life, in homes, temples, marketplaces, and even in quiet personal rituals that are never publicly seen. It is passed down through families rather than formal institutions, shaped by local customs, and constantly evolving with time. Unlike organized religions that focus heavily on belief systems and doctrine, Chinese folk religion is rooted in action. It is about what people do, how they honor their ancestors, how they seek protection, how they respond to uncertainty. It reflects a worldview where the physical and spiritual worlds are not separate, but deeply interconnected. At the center of this belief system lies a powerful idea: reality is layered. What we see is only one part of existence. Beyond it lies an invisible world filled with spirits, energies, and forces that influence human life in ways that cannot always be explained. The spirit world, closer than you think. In Chinese folk religion, the line between life and death is not clearly defined. The dead do not simply disappear, they continue to exist, just in a different form. This creates a world where spirits are not distant or abstract, but present and active. Ancestors are considered one of the most important spiritual forces. They are believed to watch over their descendants, offering protection, guidance, and sometimes even intervention in times of need. This belief forms the foundation of ancestor worship, a central practice in Chinese culture. Families create altars, offer food, burn incense, and perform rituals to maintain a connection with those who have passed on. This is not seen as symbolic remembrance. It is treated as a real relationship, one that requires respect, care, and consistency. Forgetting ancestors is not just a cultural failure, it is believed to disrupt harmony between worlds. But not all spirits are kind. There is also a strong belief in restless or wandering spirits, souls who have no family to honor them or who died in tragic, violent, or unresolved circumstances. These spirits are often associated with misfortune, illness, and unexplained disturbances in the physical world. To deal with them, rituals are performed during events like the Ghost Festival. During this time, offerings are made not just for ancestors, but for unknown spirits as well. Food, incense, and symbolic money are given to calm them and prevent harm. This belief system creates a powerful emotional and spiritual responsibility, because it raises a haunting question. What happens when the living forget the dead? Gods among humans, a living pantheon. Chinese folk religion is filled with a vast network of gods and deities, each representing different aspects of life. But unlike distant, untouchable gods in many traditions, these deities are deeply personal. They are approachable, relatable, and often tied to human experiences. At the top of this spiritual hierarchy is the Jade Emperor, considered the ruler of heaven and the overseer of cosmic order. Beneath him are countless other deities, each responsible for specific roles: wealth, health, protection, justice, and even daily household matters. For example, Mazu is widely worshipped by fishermen and sailors, believed to protect those who travel across dangerous waters. Guan Yu represents loyalty, righteousness, and moral strength, and is respected not only as a god, but as a historical figure elevated to divine status. Even the home is not free from divine observation. The kitchen god is believed to live within the household, watching the behavior of family members throughout the year. At the end of the year, he reports to heaven, influencing the family's fortune in the coming year. This belief creates a subtle but powerful psychological effect. Life is lived with a sense of being watched, not in fear, but in awareness. Actions matter. Choices matter. Morality is not just a personal concept, it is part of a larger cosmic system. Feng shui, energy, balance, and invisible forces. One of the most widely recognized aspects of Chinese folk religion is feng shui. While many people see it as a form of interior design or superstition, its roots go much deeper. Feng shui is based on the idea that energy, known as qi, flows through everything in the universe. This energy is not visible, but it is believed to shape outcomes in very real ways. The goal is to align human environments with this flow, creating harmony between people and their surroundings. This is why the placement of objects, the direction of buildings, and even the arrangement of rooms are considered important. A well-balanced environment is believed to attract health, success, and positive energy, while imbalance can lead to misfortune. Closely connected to this is the concept of yin and yang, the idea that all things exist in a state of balance between opposing forces. Light and dark, life and death, activity and rest. Neither is good or bad on its own, but imbalance creates disruption. The mystery lies in the nature of qi itself. It cannot be seen. It cannot be easily measured. Yet, for centuries, people have trusted its influence based on patterns they observe in life: success following alignment, misfortune following disruption. So the question remains, is it belief, or is it something we simply don't fully understand yet? Rituals, symbols, and the language of the unseen. Chinese folk religion communicates with the spiritual world through rituals, symbols, and actions that carry deep meaning. These practices are not random, they are structured methods believed to connect the physical and spiritual realms. One of the most well-known practices is the burning of joss paper. These paper items, often shaped like money, houses, or even modern goods, are burned as offerings to ancestors. The belief is that these items are transferred into the spirit world, providing comfort and support to the dead. Divination is another key practice. Methods such as drawing fortune sticks, interpreting coins, or consulting traditional systems are used to seek guidance from unseen forces. These are often done in temples, where individuals ask questions about their future, decisions, or problems. Talismans also play an important role. Written on special paper with symbolic characters, they are believed to hold protective or healing power. Some are placed in homes, some are carried on the body, and others are used in rituals involving fire and water. To an outsider, these practices may seem symbolic or psychological, but within the belief system, they are practical tools, ways to communicate, protect, and maintain balance. They form a language of the unseen, one that is understood not through logic alone, but through tradition, experience, and faith. Mystery or meaning. Chinese folk religion exists in a space where logic and mystery overlap. It does not demand strict belief, nor does it offer simple answers. Instead, it allows individuals to participate, to observe, and to experience. For some, it is a cultural tradition, a way of honoring heritage and family. For others, it is a deeply spiritual system that explains the forces shaping life. And for many, it exists somewhere in between. The real mystery may not be whether these beliefs are scientifically provable, it may be something deeper. Why have these practices survived for thousands of years? Why do they continue to resonate with millions of people, even in a modern, technological world? Perhaps the answer lies in what they offer, not certainty, but connection. Not control, but understanding. A way to navigate a world that often feels unpredictable and complex. Because in the end, Chinese folk religion is not just about spirits or gods, it is about how humans face the unknown. And maybe, the unknown has never been as distant as we think. Maybe the real question is not if the unseen world exists, but if we have just stopped noticing it. If this made you think, like and subscribe for more.